All right, welcome back to Market Day Report, right? Coming up on the top of the hour here. I am the cow guy, Scott Shelley, and let's talk about these markets, right? Because there's a lot going on here today, a little bit different than we've had the last few days. But let's start with corn and see what's going on with the Chicago corn market. The Board of Trade, 8.25 cents higher. You can tell. Let's get that out from behind my big fat head. $6.75 is last there. We got that $6 line back, and we're only a tick off of the high of the day. There you go. That's a strong one. Dees, the new crop, that's up 6 cents on the day. 5.36 even is last there, and that is a new high of the day. So not bad. We'll take that. That's corn about 6 to 8 cents higher across the board. Let's talk about soybeans. What do we have happening there? They've moved up a little bit more, so we pumped them up with some air. July's up 19.25 cents at 13.48 3/4. That's still about 3.5 cents off the highs. Nova's up 13 cents to 11.82. Trying to smell that $12 line, getting close, and that's only 2.75 cents off the highs there too. So a good, solid double-digit gain in soybeans across the board. Those two markets, corn and beans, we like, right? Let's talk about Chicago wheat. That's up almost 5 cents across the board as well. July's up 4.75 cents to 6.15.5, 2 cents off the highs, while Dees is up 4.75 cents as well to 6.48.5, and that too is about 2 cents off of the highs. Moving from Chicago to Kansas City, we want to take a look at what the hard red's doing. 6.75 cents higher in that July contract to 8.09 1/4. And we've got Dees up 8 cents to 8.02, even about 3 cents off the highs out in the Dees. Okay, that's hard red in Kansas City. Let's move over to Minneapolis and see what we've got in store for us there. 17 cents higher in that July contract to 8.06 even, 3.75 cents off the highs. While Dees is up 11 cents on its own, 8.08 3/4 is last there, and that's about, 3.75 cents off the highs as well. So that's all good stuff. We like that. It makes it easier on a Friday that I'm not having to report a bunch of negative numbers. July cotton's up double nickels. That's 55 cents on the floor, or 55 points, I should say, right? 86.97 is last there. And we've got the Dees contract up 71 points to 82.29. And now I get to bring in our next guest, an old friend of the show. It's Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading in Las Vegas. Thanks for being on the show, Todd. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts here? We've got some green on the screen, and that's a good change for as of late.
Scott, I think the week is shown that maybe, I think corn has already put in the bottom, but it may be wheat and beans have also put in the bottom. They've tried a couple of times late this week to take them down, and we've ended up rallying higher. So we'll see where we go from here. As you and I talked off air about the importing, which is not a good sign. But again, I think that with all the shorts that are trying to push these markets down, the very fact that they didn't stay down might force them to start to think about covering, which could create a short squeeze rally, which then could lead into a regular rally. And I think that's what we have to look for now. The economy's a mess. The jobs number this morning was a joke, and we've got problems. So, but hopefully, if we can get the equities to slow down a little bit and get some of that money to flow in the grain markets, I think we'll be in okay shape.
What's your blow off top high? Let's just say Dees corn right now. What are you looking at? Because we talked off air a little bit. We've had to import some beans and wheat. At what point in time do you get worried about being too high and being even more less uncompetitive, if there's such a word?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with supply and what we're going to have. So I don't think there's really is a number. If it's in demand, it's going to go higher. And right now, with the faltering economy and other crops coming due, it's like a natural. If we don't have any in storage because everybody sold out last year when prices were higher. So I think it really depends on how everything progresses. But, we have a long wait between now and harvest, and,
Yep.
Anything can happen. So I think that, look, we could go a lot higher, and a lot of things to change in the economy by then as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. It's actually good to see, too. As everybody knows, I have to pre-apologize. I grew up as a producer, but it's like, I'd like to see the farmers do better. And these prices make Friday a little bit easier on the old cow guy. So it's nice to deliver some decent food to the table. How about that? Stay right there. We need to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Todd Bubba Horwitz. He's with Bubba Trading in Las Vegas. We're right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about, this has also been an interesting part of the show. We've got some decent cattle prices. Why don't we take a look and see how they've been doing today? We'll start with live cattle. We'll get that out from behind my fat head so you can see them. June's up $1.20, 176.10 is last there, about 77 cents off the highs. Kind of in the middle of the day's range, really. We've got August up right behind it, 42 cents to 172.80. But as you go out the deferreds, we lose a little air, and that we actually have some negative numbers. As you go out to the Dees, it's down 22 cents. Now down 15 cents as it ticks higher. 178.90 is last there. All right, so we're going to call that fair to Midland when you talk about the live cattle board. Let's talk about feeders. Just steady easier. If I was on the floor and you called up, I'd say steady easier. We've got August off a nickel, 241.60s last there in the middle of the day's range. No big deal. Now we're sharply unchanged in August. And let's go out to say November. That's down 15 cents to 247.32. And then finally, how about the lean hogs? What do we have happening there? We're higher. Here we go. $1.75 higher in the June, 85.30s last there. And we've got August up $1.62 to 81.65. That's going to give us the chance to bring back our guest analyst. He's been so patiently waiting in the wings. Todd Bubba Horowitz. Todd, anything jump out at you when you take a look at those prices when it comes to the livestock?
They're awfully high, but again, that relates back to the shortage. I mean, this is, Scott, we're near or at all-time highs in both fats and feeders. So, these are prices that, if that was 6 or 7 years ago, you just say sell, sell, sell because they couldn't go much higher. Well, this market could go higher because of the short supply. And you can see that in the way the curve goes out. All the action, the high action is in the front because that's where the fear is and that's where the shortage is in the back as they're hoping to replenish. So I think that, I don't think they're going down. I just don't think they got to have a lot of room to go higher. But certainly at all-time highs is a pretty good place.
It's just one of those markets, you're afraid to stay long, and that's what a good bull market does. It doesn't let you ever get comfortable being long. That's how it can continue to go higher. And we've had some cattle guys on saying that, this problem's not going to go away in a year or two. This could be a 3 or 4 year problem. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, which is why I think we're holding steady prices and why we could see higher. Again, the way they price them, they're not being priced that way. But I think you'll see each time we get to a new month, a new expiration, you're going to see the higher prices come back again, and we're going to have that backwards curve, kind of like you have in crude. The fear of not having it in the front, which is where the active trade goes, and of course the hope that we'll get it in the back. And I think that's what you're watching in the overall curve. So I think hogs look like pretty good after a big rally. They came down a little bit, but now they're rallying again, so that looks pretty good. So I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right, great stuff. Always, as usual, super content. Thank you very much. It's Todd Bubba Horowitz coming to us from Las Vegas. Have a great weekend, Todd. I'll bring it back here to Nashville so I can hand it back over to Suzanne.